Good day and welcome to another episode of What's Happening Today, presented to you by the Pedo News Network. In our first story, we will discuss the rising inflation in the United States. Next, we will talk about former President Trump hitting back at his own daughter's account that she accepted his election loss. And in our final story, we will talk about the lifting of pre-departure COVID test requirements for travel to the United States. So let's get started. In our first story, a surge in price in May delivered a blow to President Joe Biden and underscored the immense challenge facing the Federal Reserve as inflation, which many economists had expected to show sign of cooling, instead reaccelerated to climb at its fastest pace since late 1981. Consumer price rose 8.6% from a year earlier and 1% from April, a monthly increase that was more rapid than economists had predicted and about triple the previous pace. The pickup partly reflected surging gas costs, but even with volatile food and fuel prices stripped out, the climb was 0.6%, a brisk monthly rate that matched April's reading. Friday's consumer price index report offered more reason for worry than comfort for Fed officials, who are watching for signs that inflation is cooling on a monthly basis as they try to guide price increases back down to their goal. A broad array of product and services, including rents, gas, used cars and foods, are becoming sharply more expensive, making the bout of inflation painful for consumers and suggesting that it might have the staying power. Now in our next story, former President Donald Trump, long known for distancing himself from or tossing aside staff members who contradicted him while he was in the White House, discovered a new target on Friday: his elder daughter. The morning after the House committee investigating the January 6th attack on the Capitol played recorded video testimony of his daughter Ivanka Trump at its prime-time public hearing, Mr. Trump used his social media website to separate himself from what she had said and to say that she was checked out during the final days of his administration. In the testimony, Ms. Trump said that she was influenced by December 1st, 2020 statement by William Barr, the then Attorney General, that there was no widespread fraud that had altered the outcome of the election. She testified that she respected Mr. Barr and accepted what he was saying. Ivanka Trump was not involved in looking at or studying the election results, Mr. Trump wrote on his social media website, Truth Social, in one of 8 messages he posted there in response to the hearing. She had long since checked out and was, in my opinion, only trying to be respectful to Bill Barr and his position as Attorney General. Ms. Trump was a senior advisor in the White House, and she continued to work in the administration until the end. Her colleagues have recalled her being among those urging White House staff members on the election night to fight, even as it became clear that her father would most likely lose. Her husband, Jared Kushner, who was also the senior advisor in the White House, attended several meetings about post-election strategy with a range of political and West-wing advisors, as well as lawyers like Rudy Giuliani. Pushing back on his daughter's comment was the only way in which Mr. Trump assailed the hearing, the first in a series of a session to be held by the House committee this month. Now in our next story, the United States will drop the requirement for international air travelers to take a pre-boarding COVID-19 test, according to an official on Friday. White House Assistant Press Secretary Kevin Munoz confirmed today on Twitter the US will end COVID-19 testing requirement for all air travelers entering the country. CDC will evaluate its need based on the science and in the context of circulating variants. And President of the United States will work on effective vaccine and treatments critical to this. He tweeted, "The CDC is lifting the restriction that the travel industry had lobbied against for months after determining it was no longer necessary. Based on the science and data," CNN reported, citing a senior administration official. The measure has been in place since January of 2021. Now this is all set to end starting Monday, June 13th for all the flights that land into the United States after midnight in Eastern Time. The official said that Mr. Biden administration plans to work with airline to ensure a smooth transition with the change, but it will likely be a welcome move for most in the industry. Travel industry officials have been increasingly critical of the requirement in recent weeks and directly urged the Biden administration to end the measure, arguing it was having a chilling effect on an already fragile economy. According to Airline for America chief Nick Callio, whose group met recently with White House officials, according to a CNN report. A coalition of travel and aviation organizations in a letter urged the Biden administration to terminate the pre-departure testing requirement for US-bound travelers that are vaccinated against the novel coronavirus disease. On behalf of the many sectors of the travel and aviation industries, we urgently request that the administration remove the requirement for pre-departure testing for vaccinated passengers traveling to the United States, the organization said in this letter. The President Joe Biden administration in December tightened travel restrictions for US-bound travelers amid the spread of the Omicron variant, requiring a negative COVID-19 test a day before passengers depart to the United States. That was all for the major news update for June 11th. Stay tuned for our next update on the ongoing world affairs. We hope that you find this video useful. If you like this video, hit like. And for a continued update on what's happening around the world, consider subscribing. And to never miss that update whenever we post something new, hit that bell icon. If you have any comments or any suggestions for us, please let us know in the comment sections below. Thank you.